everyone, it's Danielle from Goodwin Hospitality. Just wanted to give you sort of an overview of the new system, just some basic features that you can use on your own, as well as where you would go when I create any reporting that you'd like. So just to start, we're just going to log in. I'm going to use my admin account. You just log in with your username and password that's been emailed to you. A lot of you have already logged in, so some of the stuff I show on my screen might be a little bit different than yours. If there's anything that you do see that you want added on yours, just let me know and I can help you do that if the video doesn't really show it for you. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little more. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so after you log in, this is your main dashboard. It's going to have your company logo up here, these two main important buttons up here, and then just some basic reporting. So to start off, anytime you want to find a mystery shop that has come in, if you lost the link or anything, or just a quick way to access it, you're just going to hover over dashboard here. You don't have to click, and it's going to bring this drop down menu. First thing you're going to want to click is mystery shop responses. This is any mystery shop that has come in. So they're going to have a basic graph on trending here. It goes back, I believe, yeah, we're going from May to November here. So it's just going to show, for 5 or 6 months of trending just to see how everything's doing. And this one is categorized by area. So we have your project is broken down into areas, so that makes the reporting a little bit wider view, which is good. So this is just a basic view of every shop report that's come in. You'll see that we do have scores from some of your earlier visits. Those reports are not actually in here. We just transferred over the score. So the overall score, section scores, things like that, those are all in there. So the trending is accurate, but the actual PDFs can only be located on the other website. If you have any trouble getting those, you can just let me know. You can dictate how this is set up however you'd like. It's just going to basically go back, I believe, yeah, usually 5 or 6 months. It will populate all right here. You can filter it down however you'd like. So if you want to pick a time period, if you want to do a state, a form, a district we have for yours. Important to note here that when everybody logs in, their dashboard is only going to show them what they have access to. I believe currently most people have full access, so that's corporate access is what we call it. So you'll be able to see all districts and how they're doing. If we have any younger, or excuse me, just lower down managers and things like that, they're only going to be able to see their specific location or any locations that we've given them access to. If there's anybody currently not in the system that you're generally sending reports to, or want to see the feedback and you're fine with that, you just have to let me know and I add them in. They will only have access to a certain location or district. So if you want to look at a report, you just go in here. Again, it's going to break it down by district, and these are the reports that have come through for St. Louis in November. This little eyeball token here, you just click on that and that's going to upload our new report. It's just going to open it in a new tab for you. So I'm sure you guys have seen these. These have already come through. Secret shop report is going to have the ID there. It's good for quick reference. The address. We have this company rank and the year-to-date location, overall report score. This one's going to stay the same. These two are going to adjust whenever a new report comes in. So say a new one comes in for Zona Rosa, it comes in, it's going to update. If this was a Zona Rosa report, it's going to update the location, and then it's also going to update the company rank based on how the other locations did. This will also update as well how this report does and compared to all of the other reports that have come in. Location trending, it's going to do the corporate trending, the St. Louis trending, and then also the actual location trending. So you can kind of see they kind of go in line, but if they don't, there's some inconsistencies. It's a good way to see it. Then we have this sectional change, which I think is really helpful for any manager or anyone who is trying to see where they lack and where they're doing very well. You can see the last shop here was on October 23rd. They got an 81 in host and hostess, and then they bumped up to a 96.4 the next shop. So that shows great improvement. You can see it went down negative 14 points here. Just this delta can be really helpful if you're trying to isolate anything you're looking for. And then again, this is the whole report that you've seen. Go down here. All the photos are here as well. All right in there, you can click down. There's the receipt there, the dessert, another receipt, and those just kind of all move up just to make it easier for you guys. So if you don't want them there showing up, they don't have to be. You can download this as a PDF to your computer if you need to save it, or you can choose to email it to someone. This is everybody who is in the system right now, so you could easily just click one of these people off, send them the email, or if you have another manager, you could just type them in there, they would receive it and write a little note. If there's anybody you normally email this to and you want me to add them to this easy access list, I can do that as well, just to make it a little easier for you. So then, a cool trick about these reports too is if you click on this little logo, it's just going to take you right back to your dashboard, and I think that's been really helpful. Even if you opened up a report from an email, you could just click on your logo. It's going to bring you back to your personal dashboard. It might ask you to log in if you haven't logged in recently, but it will bring you back. So that's the basic accessing your shop reports. This dashboard here is some very basic reporting. It's very overall, it's easier access for you, not as in-depth as we can go, I will say that. So this is your overall shop score for the current period. So for November of 2015, we have average 89.6 for every location that's come in so far. We have the average section scores from October to November, so those are all updated there. You see the differences in changing in the section scores as well. This is the location performance for every location that's come in so far this month. Corporate mystery shops, the trending since last November. And the cool thing about all these little widgets is that you can basically filter them to be however you want them to look. So if we wanted to go to location performance here, and you just click on this little advanced filter, you can adjust and see how the locations are doing for the past 12 months, year to date, or just the current period, which is what most people want to see, and then our recently completed period, so how everybody did in October is there as well. This little guy here is how to isolate a question. Because you guys only have one form, this is really easy and very not confusing, which is great. So I basically pulled the question, would you return to your restaurant based on this current visit? And that's the month that has come in already, so that's November. Every shopper has said yes so far, which is great. If there's a question you're worried about, this is a great way to just isolate it and track it throughout the month. Same thing, you can track it year to date. Because we didn't do question level reporting, it's only going to show questions that have been shopped in the new system. So obviously only October and November so far. But recent completed period, we'll see how they did there. Yep, well, maybe only a couple people said no, and it'll tell you how many and percentage and things like that. If you have multiple questions that you want to track, you can easily create any of these widgets using this little drop-down menu here. So we'll just say you have another question you want to track. It's going to show up at the bottom. You're going to go to Advanced Filters, and then pick a question that you're interested in. So let's see, something that would be a yes, no, something that would be scored, obviously, to do the chart. So did the bartender always place her tab in front of you? We'll do that, and we'll do October recent completed period. Any form, you guys only have one, so it works out. Any level, you can do a district level if you want. Corporate users will be able to do this. You won't be able to choose a level if you don't have access to every level, just so you know. We'll update the filter. That's going to populate the data for you. And then you can change it, the title of it, just so you know what it is. And those will stay there. If you don't want them, you can delete it. If this is more important to you than any of this, you drag it right up to the top, and it will stay there. Everything adjusts. Very customizable. I'm not really going to dictate any of this stuff on your dashboards. I'm going to let you do it. If you want help setting them up, I'm more than happy to. So a couple other things that are very useful and great. Hover over dashboard here again. We're going to go to this PDF summary report. This is something I created that you can manually run. And it's basically a very in-depth detail report of the company and how they did. This is great for corporate users, district managers, to see all locations and things in comparison to each other. All you have to do is pick the period. It won't work for November because it's not completed. Just keep that in mind. If you want to run this report, it needs to be the month after all the shops are done. So obviously October is over. We can run this. Let me take a second for the Wi-Fi. hope you have better Wi-Fi than I do. There we go. All right, so this is going to pull up as a PDF, something that you can bring to a presentation, print out, use a PDF editor and make notes. It's really just an overall encompassing report, and I think it's really helpful, especially for some of the higher up in corporate, just to get a basic view of everything. So I kind of dictated what goes in here. If there's anything in here you think you need added in, just let me know. So this is an overall trending for October, how they did across months to October from last year, October this year. Overall, it's going to track every question and how their performance was. So this is going to be any question that was scored through the whole month over 95%. Because we don't have you guys shopping, we didn't have you shopping in September, this isn't going to show up here, this column yet, until November. And then there's going to be a delta here, sort of like the same, another report I'm going to show you in a little bit. But it's going to tell you how they did, and then if it was September, it's going to be October, November here, and then the change. It's going to do the same thing for areas with high performance, which is 85 to 94.99. This is that second batch of questions. Did a little bit less better than the other ones, but still pretty good. And then areas of opportunity to improve. Anywhere under 85 we threw in here. So anything where they're scoring on average, regular, less than 85. And you can see some areas where other locations could improve. We're going to have some section scores. This is an overall corporate-wide section score chart. The change. We did import section scores, so that's why these deltas are showing up, which is good. And this is just all of the mystery shops that come in, scores, and how they did. This is a detailed question performance, so this is the whole mystery shop lined out, and it's going to tell you how they did and the execution for the year. Obviously, this updates every time a new shop comes in and we have question data. So obviously October and November will populate here and an average of the two over here. Keep scrolling down, there's a lot of questions in the form. And then it's going to break it down into district. So this is pretty great. It's going to tell you how you did according to corporate and then up. Same thing, areas with superior performance, areas with high performance, areas with opportunities to improve, how they did the location scores, and that's there. And then a comparative rank. Go down here. Same thing for Kansas City. We're going to keep going down. Same exact thing for every single district broken down. Any of these, obviously, PDFs you can just use for presentations or just sharing information, use them to discuss on your calls, anything like that. And so that's basically the general of that whole report that you can download at any time. It just will only populate for a month that has been completed. So let's see if we can get back. There's the director. So another thing that's pretty great for you guys that you have totally manual control over are these Excel reports. If you just want to see a section score comparison for October, there's plenty of different types of reports. That's just an example of one, but we have all these reports here, a description of what will be populated in the report, and then you can choose a date range. So I would say to do just a month that's been completed so you can see an overall snapshot. But on this, you do have to select the date range and a period. A period is just the month because you guys have a very basic period schedule. So we'll just click October here and we'll do a section scores comparison. Just put that underneath. It's going to show up as an Excel file. Just open it up. And this is going to show you section scores, how they did in October, and the change, how they did in September, and the change delta. Same sort of thing I was showing you before, but just an Excel version if you ever needed it for anything. Good way to track data. These reports I can also have exported to you on a regular basis if it's something that you're interested in, something that you would like emailed to you, or we can set up as an FTP export, anything like that. We have a lot of really great options. It will break it down by district and then the individual locations and how they did. So this can be really helpful when you're tracking data and section scores and really any one of the options here. This responses one is going to give you every single answer to all the questions. So if you're doing any question trending, this is a way to get the hard data in an Excel spreadsheet to import it to whatever formula you're using. So what I'm going to show you now is just some more in-depth reporting that I did kind of based on what you guys were using in the other system. Some users were using it, some weren't. So basically, the first one I chose was this food ratings one. This is going to show you the most current. I'm going to adjust this every couple months to do the current quarter so you know what you're looking at. But so anytime you see a report that has that little refresh thing, just click it. It just makes everything look better. But so far in November, we have had these shops come through and the answers to the food questions. So beverage comments, appetizer comments, salad, entree, dessert. It's going to have the rating here, and then these will all be in numerical order. So you can see to 23, and they will just fill in as the more shops come in. And then if you want to see this actual report in its entirety, just click on the little eyeball. And it will bring right up to the report that we were talking about before. Go back, click this little logo here. Another one I made for you guys was this location performance tracker. Once again, if there's any refresh button, go ahead and click it. It's not going to hurt anything. It just makes sure that if I'm messing with anything else on the back end, that all the data you have in front of you is the most up to date. So you're just going to drill in by the year on this one. And then it's going to show you a list of the locations and how they're doing over the year, starting with the best performing to the least well performing. So right here with Glen Carbon here, and then it goes down from there. It's tracked here in the same order, best performing to least performing. You can click into the individual location and see how they're doing quarter over quarter. You can click into the quarter and see how they're doing month over month. In the actual month, you can see the actual visits, the date of the visits, how they did, and then obviously these two average into this one, and you can again see the actual report. So that's basically all I have for you guys. Right now we don't have too much reporting set up besides the basic stuff, so if you have anything that you do want to see, just let me know. If you have any questions about how to set up any of these little widgets, I do encourage you just to play around with it. It can be really easy when you get into it, and you just get used to the system. So thank you, and I hope you have a great day.